The autumn time of the year can be a really nice time on dairy farms, particularly when you're at spring milk. You have all the work done and it's time for doing bits and pieces of maintenance and that around the place, and it's more relaxed and less stressful. It's probably the storm, it's probably the calm before the storm, and I mean the storm next February, January, February, when you start calving cows, and particularly now with very high EBIs and a lot of batch calving of cows. They calve a lot of cows in the space of 3 to 6 weeks. That, you know, within 6 or 8 weeks you have 90% of your herd calved. You have a lot of calves, a lot of cows, a lot of work to do, and sometimes you have to think of where you really make your money. Do you make your money, and what is the 3 or 4 jobs that gives you the most profit in the year? And one of them is probably making sure that the cows are milked properly and they're milked at the right time. And the next thing is managing your calves, your replacement heifers, making sure then you're managing your grass, that you maximise the amount of grass you can get into the cows, and the whole management of the cows. And if you just want to sit down and calculate it out, that I can guarantee you 80% of your profit is coming from those areas. And what percentage of time do you give to those jobs that's giving you 80% of the profit? How much time are you giving to the other jobs that brings in 20%? You're probably giving 50-60% of your time to those, such as spreading slurry, fencing, maybe spreading fertilizer. All those jobs that's very time consuming. Going and collecting stuff out of the store rather than maybe getting them delivered in. We as farmers need to look at how we can take labour and time out of our day's work and take a lot of the stress. And one of them is to park the tractor and the slurry spreader and get in a contractor to spread your slurry. He'll probably charge you 40 or 50 euros an hour. There's plenty of huge contractors out there with big slurry spreaders and much better ways of working than you, and they come in and they'll do the whole thing in a day or a day and a half, depending on how much slurry you have to spread. And the guy that's sitting on that tractor for the contractor is probably only being paid 12 or 14 euros an hour. How much an hour are you earning out of managing your cows, managing your grass and managing your calves, and making sure that you're getting the highest output of milk, the highest amount of live calves reared, and the highest output from your grass? Another area is spreading your fertilizer. There's very good contractors out there that have sat-navs and everything, and they have GMS that can come in and set it and spread the fertilizer very exact on your farm. Plenty of guys out there as well that will do contract fencing if you need some fencing done on your farm. Okay, it all costs money, but I guarantee you, when you take the cost of your time, the cost of machinery, the cost of diesel, and if you was to eliminate those 3 jobs in the springtime of the year, and the 4th job that you can eliminate as well, if you can get as much stuff as you can delivered into your farm, let that be out of your hardware store, your fertilizer, your feed, not to be going the roads, having to be drawn food all the time. And then the 5th way is look at how scattered is your farm. How scattered is your cattle on the farm? Have you an out farm where you have beef cattle that it takes you an hour and a half every day to go and feed them? And realise how much profit you're making out of those. And I guarantee you, if you eliminated those out of your life, you'd probably end up making more profit and taking a lot of stress out of your time, out of your life. But what I'm saying to dairy farmers, this time of year, when you have a bit of spare time, can you sit down and look at how you can save yourself the stress, because all you have to do is go to an IFA meeting in the springtime of the year, and half the farmers are not there because they're too busy, they can't even come into a meeting. And if the ones that's there, they're getting hard to stay awake, and particularly dairy farmers that's in the springtime of the year, that's working very, very hard and put a lot of stress on your partner, and your children, and on yourself. So maybe this time of year, it's time to just sit down, take evaluation on what way you can save labour on your farm, and maybe go and see, can you do it. I am not lecturing to you, I'm just giving you a few ideas, a few suggestions. Eamon here from Ashdown Farm. Hopefully, I'm really looking forward to your comments, and thanks to everybody that subscribes to my videos. And please comment back whether you agree or disagree. I love to have a discussion about this. Eamon here, signing off.